Alright, so this is a guinea pig hutch I built for my kids' 2 guinea pigs. We were moving them out to an outbuilding, so I needed something substantial and something that would keep them warm when it kind of cools off here. The dimensions are about 24 by 48, and with the legs it's about 54. The interior space that they kind of hang out in is about 30 by 24 by 48. I built this thing out of 2 sheets of 3/4 CDX plywood, 3 2x4s, this NRP panel that I lined it with to kind of make it critter urine proof. I made a 1/4 inch mesh fencing, about a 3x5 piece of that, 4 casters, and then the hardware with like the hinges and the latch and the screws and stuff. When it's all done, it's about $138, and if you're thinking that's pretty expensive and I could probably get something cheaper, you're right. For about $89 on Amazon, this thing's not bad. It's like a double-decker hutch, and the only problem is it's not going to do the cold weather thing that mine's going to do. I wanted to build this thing with as simple as tools as I could find, so I just found my circular saw, my Craig jig, my cordless drill, and that was about it. To lay it out, I laid everything out on that 4x8 sheet, and I was trying to maximize the material as best I can, and I was able to fit almost every single piece on those 2 sheets, minus what I did on the 2x4s. The build itself is pretty self-explanatory, right? Ripping up the sheets and everything with my Craig jig. It does a really nice job of helping keep everything nice and straight. I did get a little fancy here on the legs, where I did do kind of a modified box joint where I did glue it and shoot it together. My goal with plywood is to never be screwing into the edge of it, because I don't want to ever blow it apart. So that's why everything is double-deckered and then screwed together through the face of it to make sure that everything is nice and tight and it won't ever pull or blow the plywood apart. I reinforced everything with those 2x4s underneath the base and at the bottom there, and then of course that's where I put my casters. The divider's got about 5-inch diameter holes for them to go through, and that makes about a 12-inch space for them to kind of sleep in or do whatever they do in there. And then the whole thing is lined with that NRP panel to make it kind of urine proof, and I put that down with contact cement and a roller, and then adhered that to the back, bottom, and sides. The door is composed of a bunch of 2 and 3-inch strips of ply that I laminated together to make a lap joint there. Should have glued it, but I screwed it together, the layers with shallow screws. And then that fencing just got stapled in between the layers, and that's what gave it a little bit of stability and kept it together. The hinges I used were kind of weak. The door kind of sags a little bit, so I guess I'd recommend something larger for that, and then that just gets face screwed into the face frame of the cage. And then the other door is just a piece of plywood because they kind of like dark areas, so that's where they hang out most of the time anyways. And then the latches had to be furred out with a couple extra strips to get them to the level of the door, and that's what latches the door. The ramp isn't supposed to be more than 30 degrees according to Google, so it's not, and then I put those little pieces on there that they don't slide back on, and that's how they get upstairs. So we put the critters in there. They did end up using the ramp. They do like that darker area there. They seem happy. Kids are happy. So I'm happy. So this was my hutch. Hope that was helpful for somebody. Thanks for watching.